Welcome to Untold History Tales, where the past's hidden stories come alive. Today, we dive into the dramatic attempted coup against Mikhail Gorbachev. On August 19, 1991, the Soviet Union teetered on the edge as communist hardliners launched a shocking coup against Mikhail Gorbachev. Tanks rolled into Moscow, Gorbachev was trapped, and a nation held its breath. But a fearless stand by Boris Yeltsin and thousands of defiant citizens turned the tide. What drove this desperate betrayal? How did it shatter an empire? Join Untold History Tales as we uncover the chilling truth behind the 1991 Soviet coup, a saga that reshaped the world. Subscribe for daily mind-blowing tales from the past. Picture this. It's August 1991, and the Soviet Union, that ironclad empire, is crumbling like a house of cards in a storm. For decades, it stood as a colossus, its red flag a symbol of fear and power. But now, cracks are splitting its foundation, and at the heart of it all is one man, Mikhail Gorbachev. He's no ordinary leader. With his bold ideas of glasnost, openness, and perestroika restructuring, he's trying to breathe life into a dying giant. But not everyone's cheering. Deep within the Kremlin's shadowed halls, a plot is brewing. One so audacious, it could tear the world apart. Gorbachev, the Soviet Union's general secretary since 1985 and president since 1990, dared to dream of a new USSR. Glasnost opened the press, letting people speak freely for the first time in generations. Perestroika promised economic reform, loosening the state's iron grip. But freedom comes at a cost. The economy's in shambles, bread lines stretch for miles, and shelves are bare. In the Baltic states, cries for independence grow louder. Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, they're pulling away. And the old guard, the hardline communists, are seething. To them, Gorbachev's not a savior. He's a traitor dismantling their empire. Enter the villains of our story, the Gang of Eight. These aren't faceless bureaucrats, they're the Soviet elite. Vice President Gennady Yanayev, his trembling hands and nervous eyes. KGB Chief Vladimir Kryuchkov, a cold strategist plotting in the shadows. Defense Minister Dmitry Yazov, commanding tanks and troops. They're the old guard, men forged in Stalin's shadow, who see Gorbachev's reforms as a betrayal of everything they've fought for. They whisper in secret, their fear turning to fury. If Gorbachev succeeds, the Soviet Union they know centralized, unyielding will vanish. They can't let that happen. On August 18, 1991, the stage is set. Gorbachev is far from Moscow, vacationing at his dacha in Crimea, a seaside retreat where he thinks he's safe. But the plotters are moving. They've had enough of his reforms, his talks with the West, his weakening of their power. They form the State Committee on the State of Emergency, a name as bold as their intent. Their plan? Seize control, declare Gorbachev unfit, and roll back time to an era of iron fists. They're betting on fear, on the military's loyalty, on the Soviet people's silence, but they're about to make a fatal mistake. As night falls, the conspirators strike. They cut Gorbachev's communications, isolating him like a prisoner in his own paradise. In Moscow, they prepare to shock the world. Tanks are fueled, orders are barked, and state media is primed to deliver their lie. Gorbachev is ill, and Yanayev is now acting president. The Soviet Union, they declare, is under their control. But in the streets, a spark of defiance is about to ignite. The people aren't as silent as they think, and one man, Boris Yeltsin, is ready to stand in their way. What happens when an empire's own leaders turn traitor? When tanks become the tools of betrayal? Stay with Untold History Tales as we dive deeper into this heart-pounding saga. Subscribe now, hit that bell, and join us for Chapter 2, where Moscow becomes a battleground and a nation's fate hangs in the balance.